There we go.
Be careful.
Oh. Okay, my name's Martin and this is Sarah, and we're parents to Max, who's 3, and he's got 2 older brother and sister, Ellie who's 8 and Ben who's 6. Max has got a hearing loss, severe to profound, and he's currently wearing 1 cochlea and 1 hearing aid, and that's where we're at the moment. Max failed his newborn screening, so as I guess probably a fair amount of youngsters do for one reasons, and then so we were immediately referred for further treatment and tests, which we went on, and then so we had subsequent tests and ABRs, so more in-depth tests trying to give us a better level of detail as to what the issues were. But it wasn't actually until he was around 20 months that we were actually officially told that there was a permanent hearing loss and the severity of that loss, and it's at that point really that everything's kind of accelerated at quite a pace.
When he failed the newborn hearing screening test, we wasn't overly concerned.
No.
We just thought, oh, I had a water birth, and I thought, oh, maybe there's congestion in his ears. And they did say there might be fluid in his ears, didn't they? And they just said, oh, just come back. They didn't seem overly bothered about it.
I think
come back in a
yeah,
month.
I think there was. I mean, excuse me, all the way along. There's, I mean, from professionals, there's never any sense that things are overly drastic, because obviously they're not wanting to
alarm anybody.
Yeah, so it was all put across as relatively routine. It's one of those things, and we need to monitor it, and that's where we were at until that 20-month final. We still weren't sure that there was any permanent hearing loss, or to any extent the severity of the hearing loss. At that point, they'd ascertained that the hearing loss was mild to moderate, I think they were putting it at that point. But there still was this underlying congestion.
So we like that word, congestion.
Yeah, so we were like congestion, so something that can be cleared, and that's what we thought it was.
You know, everybody knows that the first 12 months are crucial for a child to develop their listening and their for their speech, and he's behind.
So yeah, we would definitely agree that there's been
say
a loss.
It's affected his development. His listening and speaking. We had a lot of people asking us why he was aided so late, and we went to one of the NDCS newly identified weekends, and there was a lot of babies there that had hearing aids from a few weeks.
Yeah.
And parents were asking us, why did he get aided at 20 months when he failed the newborn? That's what the newborn's there.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions, and there was a lot of confusion as to why that
that's
happened
what's made
from
us
parents
kind
and professionals at those groups.
Because we didn't have the answers,
so
we didn't know.
We already had the doubts. So the way we approached the professionals that we were dealing with at the time and just asked that question, and I guess the protocol was for them to then investigate, and that's where it became a formal complaint, if you like, an issue, which they've spent the best part of 2 years investigating. And we actually got some results earlier, and effectively what it says is that there was information at 2 months that should have been provided in more detail, and that was either not provided at all, or it just wasn't offered in the right format. So yeah, so there's nothing we can do about that, but in a way we didn't miss anything.
They said that they missed it.
Yeah, we weren't privy to any of the information for us to make a better decision.
They should have done and put in place at that 2-month ABR test, which wasn't done. They also checked 1,000 children that they've seen.
Pulled their records,
and they went through all their records with a fine-tooth comb to see if any of those children also had the same problems that we found with Max, and they had no
They
issues.
didn't find any other issues. So
Max,
it's a rarity, but nevertheless,
was the only child. But it was a very thorough investigation. Anybody that maybe has experienced a delay in their diagnosis, I would I'd say that they should challenge it. If they don't think something's right, then ask what, you know, even if it's going to help another child in the future.
Yeah.
Because what we've found with, you know, our situation is that they've put leaflets in place, and they've done a new, you know, they've put things in place now that will stop at the right places, you know, that hopefully it won't happen again. So.